If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out. Whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant, Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on this lovely day. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
I hope I didn't overstep anything saying it was a lovely day.
Yeah, you just jinxed us. It's going to be cold tomorrow, so...
Yeah, that could easily happen. This is ResortLoop.com. The number is one more than it was last time you listened. That I'm pretty sure of.
Yes. One more and number 3.
Oh. Yeah. No, we said stop sending them in. We still got a couple more after the...
No, we keep sending them in. We're just not going to do another show for a while.
We'll put them in a special file for later.
What a fantastic response we got from Looper Nation on your regrets for going to a Disney park, whether it's something that you wish you had done or something that you wish you had never done.
Yeah, I think this is a great topic just because we all learn from everybody else and something maybe you've been looking forward to.
Absolutely.
You can learn that, maybe it wasn't such a big deal, or man, I do really need to do that next time I go.
Absolutely, absolutely. But before we get started, Tim, I do have to say this. What I don't regret is purchasing the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout comic book from Marvel Comic Books.
Did you pick this up? You picked this up?
I did pick this up. I took a picture of it. If anybody wants to go back on my Facebook page, I did take a picture of it and posted it. I love this comic book. Of course, Mission Breakout is the new ride at Disneyland.
Right.
And Marvel, in honor of that, came out with a comic book that will give you kind of some background as to the ride itself and how it all comes to be and all of that. A very cool comic book. I love it.
So this gives like the backstory, because sometimes the backstory for some of these attractions are kind of hidden or hard to find.
Right.
Nice.
Exactly. So very cool. And back when I was collecting comic books, they were nice and thick, and this is a nice thick comic book. There's a lot to it. It's not just a real quick, a lot of them became almost like brochures. They only had a few pages and the rest were ads, and then it was a lousy comic book. But it's a very good comic book. I love it. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, number 1.
Nice.
So that's a nice little collector's edition there for all of us Disney fans. So let's jump into our regrets. Tim, why don't you start us off?
Okay, let's continue this with John Jones. He says, on our honeymoon in 2000, my wife and I rode, and it uses that term loosely, test track. It stopped, and we were stuck sideways for 20 minutes.
Ouch.
The cast members offered to let us ride it again or have a fast pass for another time, but I wanted nothing to do with that ride. I haven't been near it since. My 10-year-old is begging to ride it on our next trip this July. She's going to have to bribe me with a Dole Whip for me to ride it.
Oh, you're going, John.
John, you're going. We all know you're going.
When your 10-year-old little girl says, "Dad, please."
Yeah.
You do anything for your kid.
He's trying to shake her down for a Dole Whip.
Well.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing wrong with getting a Dole Whip out of it either. So, Julie Lowe says, we got online for the Jungle Cruise that said the wait was 35 minutes. By the time we got to the loading dock 60 minutes later, we had to get out of the line to get to their Thunder Mountain Fast Passes before we lost it. Wasted a whole hour waiting for a ride we really didn't care about, and no one in our party understood what made us do that.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's sometimes that happens.
Yeah, sometimes, you just don't want to do a wait.
Yeah. Especially
if it's hot.
What are you going to do? It's hot.
Hot,
at
sticky.
Least, hopefully the fans were blowing.
That's right. Hopefully there's that.
For Julie. Yeah,
exactly.
So, sorry, Julie.
ResortLoop.com apologizes.
What did we do?
I don't know. I felt guilty. Emily Lubold-Steinkamp goes, went to bed early and missed the fireworks. Then she says, can I blame being preggo at the time?
Oh, absolutely.
Emily, you're carrying a human. Not that. You can do anything you want or don't want, as far as I'm concerned.
And you can blame it all on that.
Exactly.
You know, Tim and I have both been there. Our wives blamed everything on us when they were pregnant.
Exactly. Well, no.
Is that,
no.
Is that ever going to stop? I'm not sure. Is that? Never mind.
There's two kinds of people. Not two kinds. Two kinds of people. I'll just say, I don't know what a better way to word it. They get whatever they want.
Wait a minute. He started digging, folks. Go ahead.
No. They get whatever they want. One is pregnant women.
Yes.
And two are brides. You get whatever you want.
Well, that's true.
My wife will even still say, I always say that.
That's right.
Whether it was her or anybody we know, brides get whatever they want.
But nobody has ever said Pregozilla. There are bridezillas out there, but not Pregos.
That's a whole different podcast.
Boy, this has turned into a whole day. We better dig ourselves
we better
out
keep
of this
going.
One. Sorry.
I was just thankful when she didn't go prego. I said it's in there, like a bad pasta sauce commercial.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Really?
Sorry, Emily.
You're the food guy, and that's where you're going with that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't get prego.
Yeah, I regret that we even brought that all up. So anyway, Calvin Connor says, taking my girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend,
dun dun dun,
to Disney World on my dime.
Oh.
Yeah. What a sour taste it leaves for Disney World in your mouth when she breaks up with you after the plane ride back.
Oh.
Oh. Do you think she might have had an idea?
The best thing you do at that point is just go back and start sending pictures.
There you go. The best revenge is a good life.
Exactly.
That's the best revenge.
Without a doubt. Tamara Spidell.
Hey, Tamara.
We know Tamara. She was the very first time I took my husband to Disney World, we stayed at All Star Music. I planned every last second and had us going to rope drop to close. And she goes, commando style, Tim. Hey.
Oh, you know all about it.
You go however you want to go. He was exhausted, had many blisters on his feet. He didn't listen to me and bought a new pair of shoes mere days before we left for Walt Disney World.
Uh-oh.
Don't do that. Yeah, he didn't listen to that one. And ended up a wee bit cranky. Now he hates Disney World and never wants to go back.
No.
Oh, we'll have to talk to him. If I could do it all over again, I'd create a more relaxed touring plan that we would have stayed at a nicer resort. Maybe he wanted to be such a Disney hater if we had more downtime. She sighs and she goes, now I have to go with my other friends and family and leave my dear husband back home. Hey, as long as you're going. Are you going and having fun? She goes, you can tell this is very difficult for me. I'm traveling back to Walt Disney World on Sunday. Well, this is when she wrote this. I think she just got back, actually. She goes, don't worry. We're celebrating Father's Day early and then going back in October. It's a burden I must bear alone. Now, I will say, I did see some of Tamara's posts recently on Facebook while she was down there.
Yeah.
She was staying at the Contemporary.
Yeah.
I don't think she was missing anybody at that point.
I noticed there weren't a whole lot of frowny faces.
No, she was having a good time.
Yeah. I think she was having a good time.
Maybe he'll see this and going, man, that's a nice hotel. Man, there was a lot of fun there. I just stayed at home.
Yeah. It's never too late. If you ever run into that problem, it's never too late. You get, beg, borrow, steal, whatever you got to do to get them back there, and then do it that way. Say, listen, the last time I kind of did it my way. We're going to relax and we're going to have fun, and you'll love it. Especially
if you're at the Contemporary.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to help. So yeah.
Exactly. So Amanda Bennick says, eating at 1900 Park Fair with a barely awake from a nap 2-year-old who, quote unquote, met the characters with such disdain, it was pretty laughable. Room was filled with yelling children and hungry parents and grandparents too at 5 p.m. Never again.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when we tell people, you got to know the people in your group.
Yeah, try to cut off those problems early.
If it's nap time, don't be scheduling ADRs around nap time because it's not going to end well for you.
Right.
So, thanks for sharing that, Amanda. Appreciate it.
Nice. Jamie Price.
We know him.
We know him very well. He goes, oh my, where do I start? I suppose every trip I regret not spending more downtime at my resort. That's a biggie, we're finding out.
Yeah.
As far as my last trip that we just returned from, here is a short list of his regrets. Purchasing the park hopper option. They barely used it.
Ooh.
Giving in to my toddler's request to stand in line for Peter Pan for an hour.
There you go.
Not following touring plans as much as I usually do. Always follow the touring plans.
Always.
Staying at a shady off-property hotel for our last 2 nights.
Okay, we're going to need more info on that.
Yeah. Come on, Jamie. What happens at the shady hotel stays at the shady hotel. He goes riding Flight of Passage. It made him sick.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then missing out on Rivers of Light due to rain. Well, nothing you can really do about that one.
Can't do anything about the weather.
But he looks at things half full and says, still one of our longest and one of our most favorite trips.
There you go.
All right, James.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, James. And as far as the park hopper goes, when you got a young'un, sometimes the park hopper is really not worth the money because making those jumps to other parks is exhausting for a small child.
Right. When you're park hopping, you have to be pretty mobile to take advantage of that.
Right. So, Karen Foy Marzok says, my husband and I went to Disney for our honeymoon in 2006. In the midst of planning a wedding and buying our first house, planning ADRs, and the thought of a meal plan just seemed too crazy. Big mistake. In addition to the snack and quick service meal, the regular Disney dining plan's table service meal, including appetizer, drink, entree, and dessert, plus I'm pretty sure at that time it included a tax and tip, it was under $40 per day, maybe less.
Remember that? Those are good times.
Yes.
Good times.
It really would have added to a great trip, and we wish we would have listened to everyone who told us to. It's not as cost effective as it used to be for the meal plan, but we learned our lesson about making dining reservations. So, yeah, that's back in the day, man, that was a no-brainer.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, the Disney dining plan was so good.
Yeah, the dining plan's kind of evolved into more of a convenience than a savings.
Right. Oh, exactly. Exactly. And you're pretty much breaking even.
Right.
But yeah, back in the day, it was quite a value.
Absolutely. Glenn Kessler. He goes, "Hi, Bob and Tim," or is it Tim and Bob? We still don't know it. It really doesn't matter. He goes, "Oh, this one is easy. My 5-year-old son and I had planned a 5-day trip, just he and I bonding.
Nice.
How nice is that? I decided to up my father-in-law bonding game by also making it our first time camping. Why not make our first camping trip a Disney one? Hey, there you go. I'm not sure. This is going in a regret show, so I'm not sure how well this is going to go.
This is not going to go well.
After setting up our little tent in 90-degree weather with 100% humidity and torrential rains off and on.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It only took until 9 p.m. for our first night for me to call it quits.
Yeah.
Cast members took pity on us and found us a room at Pop Century that night. So at 11 p.m., with my son long since passed out, I collapsed the tent around him and packed our gear into an Uber for the drive to Pop. He slept through the entire resort transfer and only woke up at daybreak exclaiming, "Yay, you finally got a room."
Oh, nice.
Air conditioning, our own bathroom, and a soft bed never felt so good. He and I were both new men in the morning, ready to conquer the parks. Bing bong.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
If your first time's camping, you want it to be in like a big, massive RV with air conditioning.
Especially in Central Florida,
yes.
Absolutely.
You want a tour bus is what you want.
Right, right. But how nice the cast members, they took care of them.
Yes.
As they usually do. And, it ended up being a regret, but then, a very memorable trip for Glenn. So
they probably call that the Fort Wilderness extraction.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. I'll bet Glenn's not the first one that's happened to.
Exactly.
They probably watch people go in and go, yeah, they're not going to last.
Put their name on the chart.
Get them ready.
That's right.
Make sure, call ahead. Make sure Pop's got a room because they're going to be needing that later. Oh, that's awesome. Ben Ige says, love this. My family loves camping. We were just camping in Rocky Mountain National Park last week. During that trip, I said to my wife, I love camping and I love Disney, but I would never camp in a tent at Disney.
Oh.
So Glenn chimed in. He saw Ben's. He says, my wife and I did Rocky Mountain National Park years ago, and I have nothing but great memories. But the heat and humidity of Florida are a different animal entirely. So
it's like camping in a rainforest, honestly.
What's that?
It's like camping in a rainforest.
Yeah, you got to be conditioned for that. Unless, of course, you're going, in the wintertime where it's cooler and the low humidity. But
that's a whole different animal.
Yeah. We talked about tent camping one time down at Disney, and my wife quickly said no.
Oh, hilarious. Rosa Charmaine Knox, her only regret was the heat.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Nothing you can do about the weather. So.
No.
Corbett Harrell says, jumping in a Small World line that said 20 minutes just to kill time before an upcoming Fast Pass, but quickly turned into over an hour. Then having our 4 adults crammed into the front row.
Oh, I hate the front row.
The only thing that might make that worse for Corbett is had you got stuck.
Oh.
In the ride, didn't that just happen not all that long ago?
Yeah.
Here's
what's horrible about the front row. There's nowhere to put your feet.
Right.
It's not like cut out so you can slide your feet under something. There's like just nothing there.
You're jammed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. David Zanini says, I wonder how many of your listeners were married to Disney World like I was. But hey, He goes, whoa, that wasn't his answer as to what he regrets.
It's already out there.
David, sorry, you should have probably deleted that post rather than just leaving it there.
Yeah. Hey, if it's there, we're reading it.
I was going to say, I could barely hear him over the backpedaling in the second half of that sentence.
We better shoot him an email saying, don't listen to this one.
Exactly.
Tim Bracken says, going in July.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Do you?
Yeah. Robin Howard goes, thinking that my 5-year-old would be okay to walk and we didn't need a stroller.
Oh, I know that woman.
So, it's like the family block.
Yes, it is. And she's right. I remember that. And I told her, I said, get a stroller. No, he's fine. He'll just walk.
Oh, I would say
5-year-olds passing out halfway through. Absolutely.
Get a stroller for no other reason than to hold your drinks.
Yeah.
There
you go. Frederick Pagliarulo Jr.
Nailed it.
Freddie P. Says, if I could avoid anything from our trips, it would be possibly not even going in 2003. Oh. We went with extended family, and my daughter was only 2 years old. I feel like a 2-year-old is too young to really enjoy a trip.
Okay.
I also got into an argument with my sister, which put a damper on the entire vacation. I never could have dreamed that I'd be angry or miserable at Walt Disney World, but I was for a bit. We made up later and made the best of it. So there you go. It's difficult traveling with family sometimes. Make the best of it.
Sometimes it's all you can do.
It's all you can do. Oh. And for my sisters that listen to the show, we're not traveling together. That's why.
Can't hear you over the backpedaling. Oh, nice. Gary Zarelli. We know Gary.
Yeah.
He goes, in our 90 trip, I got persuaded to visit Universal.
Ooh.
Would have never went there.
Really?
Mm.
We're going to have to get more information from Gary.
Yeah, bring it on, Gary.
There you go. Good friend of the show, Mindy Carnsmuir says, here's mine. Don't pack pants.
Oh. Huh? Apparently I've been... My packing has been wrong for a long time.
Okay. First timer's mistake many, many visits ago, and we had gone in April. We figured the weather would be somewhat like California. We were dead wrong. And make reservations. It's not Disneyland, and you can't just walk up same day and make reservations. Not at Walt Disney World. So, yeah, there is a big difference between, touring Disneyland and touring Walt Disney World. And the weather is very different. We were in California in June, and it was cool. It was still relatively cool, especially near the ocean. Mm-hmm. So, whole different, check that weather before you're heading and make sure you're not overpacking with, coats and jackets and hoodies and all that stuff.
Yeah, Mindy's right. You don't need pants. I mean, unless you're going to somewhere like Victoria and Albert's where you need to wear a suit.
Yeah, you want to dress a little nicer.
But I mean, basically every other restaurant there, you're wearing a nice pair of shorts and a polo shirt, you're good to go.
Now, when Mindy says don't wear pants, she means wear something. Just, wear shorts. For the ladies, wear skirts.
I think you're the only one that thought that's not what she meant. Interesting.
No, I'm talking to you now. We can edit this part out. I'm telling you.
Tamara said she went commando as well, so I think maybe they're just good friends, Mindy and Tamara.
That's not what she was talking about.
All right, we'll talk about this after the show.
We'll edit this out.
All right, I'm sure we will. No doubt. Ruth Rogers says, we regret the time we spent dining at the Coral Reef restaurant. While we enjoyed the view, the food and the service were awful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've heard that's a little less than wonderful there. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
food-wise.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like what we hear about the restaurant in China, too. That everybody's got a Chinese restaurant in their neighborhood that they tend to like even more than the one at Disney World. So, yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. Douglas Kilgore, his greatest regret. Same as mine.
Ugh.
Leaving.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people have that regret.
Absolutely.
Jesse Fouts. He says, great show. I'm sad I missed the question when it posed the first time. Mine would be not staying on Disney property my first time going. Well, Jesse, we managed to get you in for the third part.
Well, unless we edit this out.
We're not editing this out. Come on. Let's show Jesse some love.
Absolutely. Jesse, we got you in there. Absolutely.
We did.
And we actually had one more thrown in at the last minute. Jonathan Clark says, I just remembered a regret I had at Epcot. Ordering a tequila flight in Mexico.
Oh.
I had never heard of a tequila flight, so I thought it was just another way of saying fancy margarita.
Okay.
I was talking to my sister-in-law, not noticing that they were pouring me shots. When they served it to me, I just stared at it, thinking, well, here we go. I took 3 tequila shots in 100-degree heat and 100% humidity. Mm-hmm. Needless to say, I didn't feel well the rest of the day.
Oh. To mission space.
You go.
To mission space.
To mission space. to the flight of the whatever those things are over there, Pandora.
Banshees.
Yeah, so Jonathan, thank you. You were able to squeeze that in last second under the wire.
Nice.
And everybody, Jesse, everybody, thank you guys so much for just a great
series. Apparently,
Yeah, apparently, we need to do this more often. Apparently,
yeah.
This was so much love for. This topic, and we'll have to pick up on it again real quick too. I got to let everybody know Jen Dennis over on Looper Nation Live. On our Resort Loop page, she commented that her favorite line in this entire series was from you.
Oh,
where you said, quote, well, high heels aren't that bad. You need to have an open toe. And if the heels are not over 2 inches, it's not that bad.
Was I wrong? Apparently not.
She says for the record, Tim isn't wrong, but I still would rather wear runners or sneakers to the parks.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So we love that you guys interact with us. This is what the show's all about. This was so much fun.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love it.
We will do this again soon. So, Tim.
Yes, Bob.
That, I regret to say, is all I've got.
We'll come up with another topic that maybe we can make a 4-part.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. Let us know if you guys like this 3-part series.
Yeah, let us, because we were kind of wondering how to be doing more than one show on the same topic.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. Come on Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com.
Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter and Instagram. Like us on Facebook, rate us on iTunes, and what else should folks do, Tim?
Everyone should go out there and share the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show. But now you want to share your love of Disney, right? Unfortunately, a lot of our friends, family, and coworkers just don't share the same enthusiasm we do for all things Disney. Well, now MyDismatch.com has made it even easier with the all-new MyDismatch apps for iOS and Android devices. Just download the MyDismatch app and connect with new Disney friends today. And now, for a limited time, you'll get your first month of full membership free just for signing up. Look for the new MyDismatch apps on iTunes and Google Play and start connecting with real Disney friends today.